As I report on yet another man overboard from a Carnival cruise ship, I wonder, is Carnival covering up shady business operations that they could easily prevent these incidents from becoming tragedies? Plus, the time has come. You can now visit the updated and expanded Port of Nassau, Bahamas. But is the port really any good? And there's a scandal brewing in Mexico over where cruise lines are discarding their trash. The full details on all this and more coming up. Let's roll the intro. Hey, welcome to the Midships channel. I'm your Captain Corey. Thank you so much for stopping by on this fine day. I hope you're doing well. As we're getting started today, I would ask that you lend me a hand in reaching my 20,000 subscriber goal that I have set for June of this year. We're only a couple thousand away, and if you just hit this button over here right now, it would go a long way, and I'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the cruise news. I gotta put this down. Nailed it. We've got a lot of cruise news to get into, and unfortunately, we're gonna start off by asking a serious question to Carnival Cruise Line. What are you actually doing to fix the man overboard problem on board your ships? And I ask this because just Monday, a 35-year-old man once again jumped overboard on the Carnival Magic as she was returning to her home port in Norfolk, Virginia in the early morning hours. According to the cruise line's security footage from on board the ship, it shows the guest going overboard from their balcony cabin, and Carnival claims they saw him lean over the railing before dropping into the water around 4:10 Monday morning, which means it was a full 12 hours before Carnival even made contact with the U.S. Coast Guard to begin search and rescue efforts. And that brings me to the question that I find myself asking a lot lately. Every time I read about a guest going overboard, where is the automated man overboard safety system? I have not once reported on any overboard situation where any information came to light that an automated man overboard system exists and told the Carnival pilot in command or captain of the ship that something was wrong and they needed to stop and render assistance to a person who may have just fallen overboard. Now, other cruise lines do install these systems from time to time. MSC, for instance, uses a system like this on the Miravilia. And the sad thing here is these systems have been around now for over a decade. They operate completely autonomously using cameras and sensors. You really don't have to pay for anybody to monitor it, so it's just the initial cost of the system. And basically what they do is they're looking down the sides and the back of the cruise ship for anything that shouldn't be there, i.e. somebody falling into the water or someone throwing an object over the side of the ship. And it doesn't seem like I'm the only person out there who's worried about the man over issue, because about 3 weeks ago, 4 members of Congress actually penned a letter to the U.S. Coast Guard asking them some questions about why Carnival Cruise Line and other cruise operators here in the U.S. have not installed these man overboard safety systems on their ships. Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, you're not off the hook either. And it really boggles my mind as to why these man overboard systems aren't installed from the shipyard. When you consider a cruise ship is almost $1 billion and a man overboard system can be $100,000 to $300,000, it's a small percentage of the cost of this ship for the vital role that these systems may play. And as it stands right now, approximately 28% of passengers who go overboard are eventually rescued. Now, the rest of the people who go overboard are either never found or they're found, unfortunately, too late. And the most critical variable to finding someone alive, it's time. It's crucial that the search begins right away, because the longer the delay between the incident and the finding of the individual, the less and less likely they'll be found alive. I want to take a quick second and divert your attention to the description down below this video. I'm going to ask you to do me a huge favor and help support my channel. Keep me delivering these cruise news updates by shopping in the Amazon Midship store. It's where I've personally curated every single essential item that I take with me on every single cruise, and I think you would love to have them on yours as well. Check it out. There's a link in the description under this video. And remember, just clicking on that link, even if you don't buy anything, well, it does help this channel financially, and it doesn't cost you a thing. Okay, let's move along. Things are getting trashy down in Mexico as the cruise industry's efforts for more sustainability has recently been tarnished by illegal dumping of waste at the port of Cozumel. In recent years, cruise lines have really began making massive pushes towards becoming more conscious of their environmental impact and what it has to do with the communities that these ships visit. And that includes the way cruise ships handle waste that they have to take off the ship, specifically trash waste. I'm talking about trash, not people waste. Yuck. As is being reported by local ecologists in Mexico, the Cozumel-based garbage company that services all of the cruise ships that go into that port was just fined for illegal dumping of waste, including recyclables that came off the cruise ships. Now, this is a company that is not affiliated with the cruise lines, so we can't blame them for this. And luckily, it's unlikely that given that their name has been made public for them illegally dumping at sanitary landfills and illegally dumping on vacant lots even, the cruise lines probably aren't going to be using this trash operator anymore. To make matters worse, they didn't even have a license to operate garbage removal from the cruise port. And given that there's over 1,100 cruise ships planning on visiting Cozumel this year, it's pretty important that they get this trash situation right and nail it so we don't have a repeat of this stinky issue. If you made it this far into today's episode, please make sure you get subscribed to the channel with the bell notification turned on. Smash that thumbs up. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. And until next time, we'll see ya on the Midships.